Picture this, losing one of the biggest names in hip-hop, knowing deep down you played a role in messing it up yourself, only to watch her level up and move on to an NFL superstar. And then hold up, it doesn't even stop there. A dude who just walked out of federal prison jumped straight into her comments, talking about love. Not just any random either. Listen to this. It's Pooh Shiesty, the same guy who was locked up in federal penitentiaries not too long ago, now stepping out and shooting his shot at your ex-wife like it's nothing. And the wildest part, Offset is still reacting, still emotional, still clearly bothered over a woman he hasn't been with for years. Real talk, this whole situation got Offset looking bad. The man already admitted to cheating, admitted he moved wrong, admitted he didn't value her the way he should have. He took that L publicly. And then here comes Pooh Shiesty, fresh out, leveled up, new energy, new image, and suddenly every woman in the country is paying attention. And guess what? His first move? Cardi B. The boldness, the confidence, the straight-up disrespect. But behind all the jokes and viral memes, there's something deeper going on here. This is about ego, loyalty, obsession, and what happens when strong personalities clash over the same woman. Yo, what's good? Welcome back, because this story got layers. We're about to break everything down piece by piece, and trust me, by the time we're done, you're gonna look at this whole situation completely differently. Let's get into it. Now, before we go any further, let me keep it real with you. This isn't just internet drama for laughs. There's real tension and real history behind it. You've got Offset, who is still legally tied to Cardi B right now, and at the same time, they're going through one of the messiest breakups hip-hop has seen in years. Then on the other side, you've got Pooh Shiesty, who just came home after serving close to 3 years on federal charges tied to firearms and trafficking. He steps back into the world, and within days, he's already in Cardi's comments, moving boldly like he has nothing to lose. And here's the key part. Offset didn't stay silent. He actually responded publicly, and that tells you exactly where his head is at. But wait, this is where it gets even crazier. Pooh Shiesty didn't just make one quiet move. Nah, he kept going, publicly, over and over again, while Offset could clearly see it happening. And while Cardi was already moving on with her life, pregnant and focused on her next chapter, Offset still couldn't let go. So let's rewind for a second, because this didn't start when Pooh got released. This goes back way earlier. Stay with me. The first time Pooh Shiesty made his interest in Cardi B known, he was still locked up. Yeah, let that sink in. Back in 2024, Cardi B filed for divorce from Offset after 7 years, 2 kids, and multiple cheating scandals that finally pushed things over the edge. Like most celebrities, she went live on Instagram to talk to her fans, updating them about her life and even mentioning she was looking for a new place in New York. Everything seemed normal on the surface, but here's where it gets interesting. Someone running Pooh Shiesty's account, because remember, he was still in a federal facility, dropped a comment during her live, and the comment said, "I'm 5 minutes away, baby, open the door." Now come on, the man was in prison. He wasn't 5 minutes from anything except guards and concrete walls, but whoever had access to his page made one thing clear: Pooh was interested. And trust me, Offset saw it. That was just the beginning. Fast forward to October 6th, 2025, Pooh Shiesty gets released early after serving close to 3 years of his sentence. And listen, you won't believe this. Within less than a day of being free, he's already back on Instagram. He sees Cardi B post a teaser for her new music. No hesitation, no delay. Still fresh out, still adjusting, and he drops a comment, "I love you." 2 words, that's it. But those 2 words shook the internet. Over 10,000 likes, hundreds of replies, and everybody instantly knew what was going on. This wasn't random, this was intentional. And here's the thing, that wasn't a one-time move. This turned into a pattern, a full-on campaign. Now, to understand why Pooh felt confident enough to go after someone like Cardi B, you've got to look at his comeback. Because this man didn't come back looking average, he came back different. The buzz was already building before he even stepped outside. His name kept ringing the entire time he was locked up. His music never stopped. Tracks like Back in Blood were still hitting. Clubs were still playing his catalog. People didn't forget him. And the moment he got out, the reaction was instant. Women were going crazy, no exaggeration. His social media exploded overnight. Comments flooded in. People were talking about his looks, his style, his whole presence. He came out sharper, cleaner, upgraded. So from his perspective, think about it. He's free, he's hot again, the internet is backing him, and attention is everywhere. So of course he's gonna aim for the top. Why not shoot for Cardi B? From where he's standing, he has nothing to lose. Worst case, she ignores him. And yeah, that's exactly what happened. Now here's what makes this whole thing even more interesting. Cardi B never responded, not once. No like, no reply, no sneak mention, nothing at all. She's out here living her life, pregnant, focused, dropping music, winning legal battles, moving forward. Meanwhile, Pooh is still in her comments expressing himself like he just didn't spend years locked up. And honestly, her silence says everything. She's on a different level right now, different mindset, different priorities. And Pooh, he's putting in effort for someone who hasn't even acknowledged him. But guess who did notice? Offset. And listen, this part right here says a lot. Offset has been visibly emotional when it comes to Cardi. And yeah, you can respect the honesty, but at the same time, it's been very public. This is the same man who, back when Cardi first filed for divorce in 2020, went on Instagram and posted a full apology, got on camera and said, "I want to apologize to you, Cardi. I embarrassed you. I made you go crazy. I was selfish. I was a messed up husband."
I want to apologize to you, Cardi. You know I embarrassed you. I made you look crazy, doing things I ain't had no business. I was partaking in activity that I shouldn't have been taking in. And I apologize, you know what I'm saying, breaking your heart, breaking our promise, breaking God's promise, and being a selfish, messed up husband, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be a better person.
Later on, that video appeared on his album. He genuinely changed his feelings for her. Cardi made a career change and still couldn't hold on to her. Go ahead to 2024 when she files for divorce once more for Offset. Offset is on the Kiki and is good this time. The Palmer podcast acknowledges that I ought to have much more respected by her. I made a poor. Making choices as a man is similar to going out. He was stated that he had to accept that when she left, on the chin. He acknowledged his selfishness.
I respect her way more. You know what I mean? I made bad decisions as a man, like stepping out, like gotta take that on the chin. Like that's why when she left, I had to take that on the chin, cause like I could have been we got so much our kids to live for. I was being selfish.
He didn't just keep it quiet either. He went on a podcast with millions tuning in and said it out loud. And even after showing that level of humility, even after publicly taking that L, he's still caught up in legal issues with her. He's still going back and forth over money, reportedly turning down a $10 million settlement while asking for half of everything, saying he played a role in building her brand. So hold up. On one side, he's admitting he messed up as a husband, but on the other side, he's trying to claim her assets and finances. Make that make sense. The truth is, Offset isn't over Cardi B, and if we're being real, he might never fully move on from Cardi B. And the moment Pooh Shiesty stepped back into the picture and started making moves publicly, all those emotions came right back up. So when Pooh dropped that first "I love you" comment, the one that pulled over 10,000 likes, Offset noticed. And listen, his reaction wasn't loud or dramatic, it was small. But in hip-hop, even the smallest move speaks volumes. Offset posted a series of laughing emojis. That's it. No caption, no direct call out, no name drops, but everybody knew exactly what that meant. That wasn't just laughter, that was a message. That was him saying, yeah, I see what's going on. Because let's be honest, a man who truly doesn't care wouldn't react at all. A man who's genuinely moved on isn't watching close enough to notice who's commenting under his ex's posts. But Offset saw it, Offset responded, and the internet, they ran wild with it. Now, here's where things start getting really interesting. People started asking, does Offset actually want smoke with Pooh Shiesty over this situation? Because let's not forget, these aren't regular guys. These are two individuals with serious reputations, and both of them understand exactly what the other is capable of. Now listen, if you're not fully tapped in, let me break down who Pooh Shiesty really is, because brushing him off as just another rapper chasing Cardi B would be a huge mistake. Pooh Shiesty, whose real name is Lontrell Donnell Williams Jr., comes from Memphis, Tennessee. And if you know anything about Memphis, you know it's not a place that builds soft individuals. He came up in an environment where the streets and the music industry are tightly connected. His rise was quick, his sound was raw, and his image was built around authenticity. People believed what he was saying in his music. But then came the situation that changed everything. In 2020, Pooh Shiesty got caught up in a serious federal case. There was a shooting at a hotel in Florida. Someone got hit, and suddenly a rising rap star was facing major charges. Reports said he was involved in an incident where a security guard was shot at a South Florida club. A judge denied him bond, keeping him locked up. Authorities claimed that during a Memorial Day weekend performance in Miami, money fell from his pocket. When people rushed toward it, things escalated, and during that moment, a shot was fired, hitting the guard in the ankle. That situation led to an aggravated battery charge and ultimately time behind bars. And listen, this situation didn't stop at simple battery charges. It turned into a full federal conspiracy case involving firearms and drug trafficking. He ended up pleading guilty. The sentence, 63 months behind bars. And in reality, he served close to 3 years before getting out early. Now hold up, 63 months. That's over 5 years tied to a federal felony involving conspiracy, violence, and weapons. He already did serious time for that. This isn't somebody who got locked up over something small. This is someone with real federal charges on his record, someone who has shown he can take things there in real-life situations, not just in music. And that's exactly why Offset's little laughing emoji response hit different. Because for all of Offset's fame and industry power, he's not built the same way Pooh Shiesty is. The streets recognize that difference, and in hip-hop, that difference matters. Now here's something nobody wants to say directly, but it needs to be said. This situation has gone way past jokes and social media entertainment. You've got Offset still legally tied to Cardi, still emotionally invested, still dealing with financial battles, watching another man publicly go after her estranged wife with zero hesitation. And Pooh doesn't slow down. Even while Cardi is clearly pregnant with Stefon Diggs' child and openly celebrating a new relationship, he keeps showing up in the comments. He even dropped another message under a Miami post celebrating Diggs' birthday, basically saying no one compares to her. That's bold. In a normal situation, that kind of persistence might come off as embarrassing, but Pooh Shiesty isn't operating on normal rules. This is someone who doesn't really believe in backing down. His whole persona is built on pressure, confidence, and not fearing consequences. He sees something he wants, he goes after it, and dares anyone to challenge it. And honestly, that's where Offset should be thinking carefully, because reacting with emojis is one thing. Actually turning this into a real issue is something completely different. At the end of the day, this whole situation is a real-time lesson playing out online. Offset had one of the biggest names in the game. She was loyal, had his children, and gave that relationship multiple chances. And he still fumbled it, again and again, by choice. Now he's stuck watching everything from the outside, watching her level up, watching her move on with a high-profile athlete, watching her win in life, in court, in music. And on top of that, watching another man, fresh out of prison, openly claim her without hesitation. That kind of situation hits different. And no amount of laughing emojis can hide that. The fact that Offset is still reacting, still involved in the divorce, still emotionally tied in, that says everything. People say time heals everything, but time doesn't fix what you refuse to let go of. And Offset, despite his image and success, has shown the world he hasn't let go of Cardi B. Now let's talk about Pooh for a second, because here's the real twist. He's not necessarily doing this just to provoke Offset. From his perspective, this looks genuine. Interest, attraction, maybe even more. And he moves in a way where he doesn't really consider how others feel about it. That's not even shade. That's just how he operates. That Memphis mentality. You see it, you go for it, and whatever happens after, happens. But here's what makes this unpredictable. Pooh Shiesty has shown time and time again that when things escalate, he doesn't back down. He escalates further. He's not the type to step back and rethink. He pushes forward. And while Offset is emotional and clearly still invested, he's not really in a position to match that kind of energy, especially over a woman who has already moved on publicly. So what does he do? He reacts online, keeps it subtle, fights his battles in court because that's where he still has some control. Meanwhile, Cardi has moved forward. Pooh keeps shooting the shot, and Offset is left watching everything play out in real time. And if there's one thing to take from all of this, it's this: loyalty, timing, and self-awareness are everything in this game. Offset had his chances, multiple chances, and every time his own decisions closed those doors. Now someone else is knocking, and there's nothing he can do about it. Pooh came home focused, confident, and consistent. He didn't hide it. He didn't care who saw it. Cardi handled it with silence and composure, never fed into the drama, never responded, just kept moving forward. And Offset, he became the lesson in all of this. Because being emotional is human, but letting the whole world see you stuck on someone who has already moved on, that's when it turns into a warning story. Now the real question is, does Pooh Shiesty ever stop? And what happens if Cardi actually responds one day? Because let's be real, one reply from her could take this situation to a whole new level. And knowing Offset, that reaction would probably play out right in front of the world again. So what do y'all think? Is Offset justified in feeling the way he does? Or is Pooh Shiesty out of line for going after someone who's clearly moved on? Drop your thoughts below. And if you want more breakdowns like this, tap into the next video on screen. We've got more coming.